This die-cast car cost $1. This die-cast car cost us $50. But did you know that there are some collectible die-cast cars out there that cost over $1 million? Today we're breaking down some of the most expensive die-cast cars in the world, trying to figure out why they're so freaking expensive. Welcome to Donut. We'll start with this MAGIRUS DEUTZ crane truck, which was made in the 60s. It's a miniature version of a classic German work truck. And it's not a Hot Wheels, but a Matchbox car. Matchbox was around for 15 years before Hot Wheels was even invented, but it effectively is the same 1/64th scale car. So we actually paid $50 for this model, which sounds like a lot for what it is, but it isn't even close to being the most valuable version of this car. Like most scaled cars, the MAGIRUS DEUTZ crane truck came in several color combinations, including the tan one we have right here. Tan was one of the more common color options, and something you'll see with just about every model car on this list is the rarer the options, the more it's worth. Combine this with other factors like overall condition or if it has original packaging, and the price keeps ticking up. Which brings us to the most coveted combo of this truck, silver with an orange crane. Only 2 were ever made in this combination. Because of this rarity, a pristine 1961 model was said to be worth $11,760, an increase in value of more than 71,000%. And that's one of the lowest prices we're gonna be talking about in this video. The second car on this list is not valuable because it's vintage, it's actually brand new. It's valuable because it's a model Ferrari made by Ferrari. In the same section where you can find a $1,600 jacket, they have 8 scale Ferraris for sale at a hefty price. 8 scale models of the current F1 car will cost you $11,000. A Ferrari Enzo model will cost you $14,000. Ferrari Roma is $16,000, but the real pricey ones are the historic Ferraris. 8 scale models of some of Ferrari's historic race cars, like the 375 Plus Le Mans car, 250 Testarossa Le Mans car, and the Ferrari 156 F1 car are all about $20,000. And mind you, these are a bit bigger than the 64th scale Hot Wheels. I mean, they're 24 inches long, but it's kind of worth it. The price sounds crazy, but when you see pictures, you kind of get it. All the details look like real cars, just on a tiny scale. Look at the picture of the shark nose. Like, do you see how the brake calipers have little lines going to them? And do you see how the clutch has that support arm? It's incredible. Obviously, it's not meant for people like you or me. It's probably for someone who actually owns one of these cars for real, and $20,000 is a drop in the bucket to them. But I kind of get it. It's kind of sick.
Hair loss stops with today's sponsor, Keeps. Hi, I'm Keith Keeps. Have you been the victim of male pattern baldness or suffer from a receding hairline? Then click the link below and I'll get you the hairline you deserve. At Keeps, we don't let faulty follicles hold you back. Our online licensed medical providers will help you fight for your hair goals. We know what it takes to get clinically proven, research-backed treatments delivered to your front door. And unlike other hair loss firms, Keeps will get you everything you need at about half the cost of a traditional pharmacy. Trust me, I've been winning back hairline since 2018, and most recently, got this trophy for my award-winning all-natural shampoo and conditioner system. Don't settle for less. Go to keeps.com/donutmedia or click the link below right now to get a special offer. You may be entitled to a full head of hair.
There's one guy you need to know about that owns a good portion of the most valuable Hot Wheels in existence. His name is Bruce Pascal. He's got an impressive collection of some of the rarest models out there. In 2019, Car and Driver did a big ranking of valuable Hot Wheels with Bruce. The model that came in at number 3 was a lime green antifreeze Chevy Camaro from 1968. Hot Wheels' first year making cars. Actually, all of the cars on their list came from that first decade that Hot Wheels are around. A clue to why the antifreeze Camaro ranked higher than other cars on this list is its overchrome finish. Shiny overchrome finishes like this one were meant for commercials and advertising purposes, not for sale to the public. And only 20 like this are known to exist, making it one of the rarest die-cast cars ever. When it was last bought in 2019, it was valued at $25,000. It's probably worth now more because, just like real cars, the used die-cast market is ridiculous right now. The Camaro isn't the only 1968 overchrome model worth a lot of money. There's also this shiny strawberry overchrome Ford Mustang, which ended up in a private collection in a mobile home, despite the fact that it was never supposed to be for sale. What? Ragu? What does that mean?
That's the Tim Allen sound.
Why don't we just get the Tim Allen sound? Since it was a promotional item never meant to be seen outside of Mattel's headquarters, no one knows how exactly it ended up in a private collection. Regardless, this overchrome Mustang was worth even more than the Camaro at a crazy $40,000. That's 13 grand more than a brand new base model 2023 Mustang, dude. Come on. And this one doesn't even come with CarPlay. As to why these cars cost so much, Bruce Pascal told Car and Driver a few years ago a number of things that make Hot Wheel models in particular more valuable. That includes low volume models, unreleased colors and wheel combinations, rare colors, prototypes, and cars that never went up for sale. Pascal also said aftermarket parts can lower the value of the models, just like on real cars. Adding rep wheels to your Hot Wheels does not make it more valuable. Everyone knows that that's a wheel you found on wish.com. All right, so just like real cars, the prices for die-casts are estimates of what people are willing to pay. Like the Mark IV Toyota Supra becoming a six-figure car a few years ago, those values change over time as well. Take this car, for example. This one is valued by the owner at $500. It's got rubber wheels, which is a rarity in itself, but what really sets us apart is the one-of-a-kind error with delivery. As you can see, the stripes didn't really make it onto the door during the printing process, making it super rare. It could be anywhere from a $500 to $1,000, but the price really depends on what people are willing to pay. Then there's this guy right here, valued at over $2,000. What makes this valuable is the rubber wheels, but also what's called a short card. The cardboard on the back is shorter than the other ones you might see right here, and that's because it's an international model. This one in particular is Japanese, and as we know from real JDM cars, these are a hot commodity in the US. This one is actually signed by the guy who actually designed it, Jun Imai, a legend in the Hot Wheels community. Speaking of the community, that's not really something I'm qualified to speak on, so luckily we got my buddy Ken here. Come on in here, Ken. These are your cars right here.
Yes.
What was your first car that you thought, okay, I'm gonna spend an unreasonable amount of money?
Candy Gasser, yeah, it's about, what, 1,500 plus?
The SPECTRAFLAME kind of metallic paint on here is really awesome. You can see like the detail of the roof, like the pinstripes on that are really like just so cleanly done. It's a gasser, which is a cool kind of thing. All right, thank you so much, Ken, for coming on. You can follow Ken on Instagram at JDM-MIATA-ND. Ken, you put on a bunch of car shows, right?
Well, I help them.
You help put on car shows. I've been to your shows before.
Yes.
Really cool dude right here. A third contender has just entered the collectible 1/64th scale die-cast arena, and this time it's from a Japanese company. If you've been waiting for a TOMICA car to show up on this list, you are welcome, you big nerd. TOMICA makes some of those intricately decorated model cars, and when they started in 1970, they only made Japanese car models. They've since expanded to foreign cars as well, but those early ones are the most rare and valuable. To commemorate the company's 40th anniversary in 2010, Japanese jeweler Ginza Tanaka made a one-off platinum replica of TOMICA's 1970 Nissan Fairlady Z. Not only is the car made of platinum, but the engraved TOMICA branded boxes as well. The car wasn't available for purchase since it was one of a kind, but it is estimated to be worth about $80,000. That's $25,000 more than a brand new Nissan Z today with the performance pack. I'd rather have the real one, to be honest. I like to have a new car. That'd be cool. The spiders have taken over my Mustang. Our next car was as close to a barn find as Hot Wheels get. In 2020, a found 1968 Hot Wheels Chevy Camaro made news for being worth a ton of money, which is odd because the car wasn't particularly striking or even in perfect condition. It's actually scuffed and the paint is worn through. But it doesn't have to be perfect when it's one of the rarest die casts in the world. The 68 Camaro was a prototype, according to collector Joel McGee, and just like those overchrome models, it's from Hot Wheels' inaugural 68 run. What makes it rare is the paint. It's covered in white enamel, which designers would put on cars to check for imperfections, and was never meant to be an actual car color. Very few were packaged and sent to retailers by mistake, making those in the hands of the public super rare and valuable. McGee added the car to his collection, calling it the Holy Grail of collectibles. You know what I'd call the Holy Grail of collectibles? The Holy Grail. But before we get into it, let's talk about the relationship between Hot Wheels and Matchbox. Oh, I'm gonna hit Henry's car. Around Around the mid-1960s, Hot Wheels parent company Mattel wanted to make a model car that could compete with the powerhouse Matchbox, which was all the rage at the time. Mattel hired real car designers from the Big Three to design their small-scaled cars and took some liberties with proportions. They made the cars wider and lower than Matchbox to give them more of a hot rod appeal. But the thing that ended up setting Hot Wheels apart and giving them an edge was the wheels and axles. When you send an old Matchbox car down the driveway or on your kitchen floor, the narrow body and thin metal wheels made the car super squirrely and spin out. Hot Wheels figured this out and put wide plastic wheels on their cars and axles made out of thin guitar string from a failed toy guitar. They also made their wheels sit on a slight camber, all of which meant that a Hot Wheels would drive straight and far if you sent it and not all squirrely. Kids loved the faster cars, and this development provided the boost to propel Hot Wheels to the top and set Matchbox back until they were eventually bought out by Mattel in 1997. Anyway, woo! Next up on the list is another 40th anniversary car. For its 40th anniversary in 2008, Hot Wheels took a $1 model and had a Beverly Hills jeweler cover it in gold and jewels, as a jeweler does. It's in their name. The car's body is 18 karat white gold with blue diamonds, black diamonds, and white diamonds. There are rubies in the taillights. The interior is covered in jewels, and so is the engine, which is under the functional hood. In total, the car comes out to 2,700 jewels and 23 carats. It also has a case made with 40 white diamonds, one for each year of Hot Wheels' existence. Superstar mezzo-soprano Nick Lachey debuted the car, and Hot Wheels said it's worth $140,000, and now Nick Lachey is on Love is Blind. So, I think we're all winners. Next up is one of the most famous Hot Wheels models ever, the 1969 Volkswagen Beach Bomb, specifically the pink rear-loading Beach Bomb. And once you guess it, Bruce Pascal owns this car, and it is the most valuable Hot Wheels model of all time. The Beach Bomb was an early attempt at designing a Volkswagen microbus, but Mattel had all kinds of trouble with the weight distribution. The surfboards loaded through the rear, and that made the car off balance when played with. So the company eventually put them on the side, thus ending the run of the rear loader. So that's one reason Pascal's rear-loading Beach Bomb is so rare. Another, though, is the color. Pascal told Car and Driver, and I quote, "Pink was extremely hard to find. Most Hot Wheels models were marketed to young boys who the brand assumed didn't want to play with pink. They created just a few pink Beach Bomb models to market to their female audience." In 2016, Pascal estimated the Beach Bomb to be worth $150,000. That's as expensive as his ultra-rare 1967 21-window VW Type 2 bus that was sold at Barrett-Jackson, and I think I know which one I'd rather have. The pink one. Okay, so that does it for 64th scale cars on this list. It only gets bigger from here, both in size and price. So hold on to your Spanx. Let's start with this 18th scale Bugatti Veyron Diamond Edition. A model car that made news in 2010 for costing more than an actual Bugatti Veyron, partially because it's made of 24 karat gold. Also partially because it has a 7.2 karat diamond in the grille. That's insane. Its creator advertised it as weighing nearly 16 pounds and taking nearly 2 months to finish. Only 3 of these puppies were made. It's making it super rare. The model car cost $2.93 million, or nearly the price of 2 real-life Veyrons. Honestly, I would take the model because I would have to street park the Veyron if it was real, and I barely trust my neighbors around my Mustang. Also, I'd curb the out of those wheels. Terrible parallel parking. All right, only a few left on the list here, and like the old man and Up, it's only going up from here. Stupid. All right, next up is this Lamborghini Aventador, which is an 8th scale model that made news for being really expensive in 2011. The car was made by German engineer Robert Gulpin in collaboration with Lamborghini. One of the things that makes this model really expensive is that it has a body made of carbon fiber with gold threads throughout. That's pretty sick. And at the time, it was said to have $3 million in gems and metals, including jeweled headlights, gold and platinum wheels, excessive, a diamond interior lining. It also had doors that opened and closed. That's important when you open them. Back in 2011, the model was valued at $6 million. With inflation, that's more than $8 million today. In 2022, the actual Aventador started at about $500,000. So this model is worth about 16 Aventadors. Who the f wants this? I'm sure you got to the gold Bugatti Veyron and thought, Nolan,
this has got to be the most expensive model car ever.
I'm sure you thought the same about the carbon fiber gold bejeweled Lamborghini Aventador, but friend, you got another thing coming. It's another Lamborghini Aventador. That's right. This car made the news in 2013, and at the time, it was made of $2.6 million in metals and gemstones, including 18 and 24 karat gold. It had platinum and sterling silver, the cool kind of silver. The body is carbon fiber with a wrap of gold around it, and there are a bunch of gemstones inside this thing. If you actually want to mess with the car, the doors open and the wheels move. That's great. No note about the doors closing though, so that might be an issue. First though, you have to get past its bulletproof glass display box. Of course, people are out there trying to shoot these models. You gotta have the bulletproof case. It's essential. Don't be caught lacking. So 10 years ago, this Aventador was valued at about $7.5 million, with at least 650,000 of that sale going to charity. That's right, it did sell. The money went to a good cause, but only like less than a tenth of it. At the time, Top Gear calculated that to equal 17 real Aventadors. I think I'd rather have 17 Aventadors, I don't know about you. All these numbers are impressive, but they don't answer the question, why? Why would anyone be willing to spend this kind of money when you can buy the real thing and curb the wheels yourself? Anyway, thanks for watching. Hit that subscribe button, hit that like button if you liked the video. Sorry about the cringe. Check out Past Gas Podcast, it's really fun, I love doing it. We're gonna hit episode 200 very soon. That's gonna be a very special episode. I can't believe we've been doing that long. Check out this video right here, and I'll see you next time.